All right, you guys. So we're doing the best pickup deals for January 2025. So I should say all pricing, all offers should end at the end of January or probably within the first few days of February. All the deals are assuming 2025 model year cars, unless they have little asterisks, and that should mean it's a 2024 that I'm talking about. All the deals are assuming 7% off on 2025s. And if they have these asterisks, I assumed an 11% discount because that's what I want you to try and target because it's an aging model. The deals are assuming 36 months and 12,000 miles a year. However, keep in mind, you will often be quoted at 39 months. So be willing to stretch to 39 if the deal calls for it. The deals are assuming you're just paying just your dealer and state fees due at start. So your first payment, acquisition fee, dealer fee, there's no down payment, but you'll probably pay a couple grand in fees. The deals are assuming a 720 FICO credit score. So let's start off a little bit with sales volume, you guys. The F-150 performed incredibly this year, selling about 835,000 units, and in second place goes down to 560,000, and that's on the Silverado 1500. And you could sort of see how the graph progresses. Something like, let's say, the Chevy Colorado performed okay. I wouldn't say it performed exceptionally, but say like the Ford Maverick actually did a little bit better with 157,000 units. So definitely F-150s blowing everything out. In terms of its main competitors, the Silverado 1500, Ram 1500, Sierra. Now, as far as inventory, Ford still has about 60,000 F-150s from 2024 left in stock. And right here, you can see 57,000 Silverado 1500s, but those are all 2025s. So Chevy has primarily 2025 inventory for the Silverado, but Ford is still carrying 2024 models. That seems to be the case for quite a few of their models. So I know on the Tacoma, by the way, is also 2024 primarily. The Ford Maverick, Ford Ranger, those are also going to be 2024s. And you'll notice the asterisks will be on quite a few of these cars. All right, so starting off at number one, and this is in no particular order. I actually did it randomly on purpose. We got the Silverado 1500. Say we got one that costs about $55,495 and got 7% off. So that's this bottom price right here, the 51,610. It would actually land us at $611.56. There's no promotional APR. However, they do have $1,500 in bonus cash, a lot of loyalty cash. Never mind this $1,000 Costco, $1,500 in lease conquest cash. So if you got a competitive lease in the household, you could also qualify for an additional $1,500. However, $611, not too competitive, especially when you see what's possible on the F-150. So on the F-150, we got 83,000 total units. Again, like 65,000 2024s. Of those 83,000, the 65,000 are 2024s. Say on a $58,000 F-150, we got 11% off. So that's this bottom number, 52,256. That would land us at 547.17. That's actually the lowest it's been in a very long time. Right now, 3.9% is what Ford's offering at 60 and a $2,000 bonus cash. Next up is the Ram 1500. You're going to see about 37,000 of them on lots, $56,000 price tag. Say you got it for about $50,410. This would land us at $571.62. They are offering 4.9% at 72, a $4,000 rebate, and then an additional $1,500. There is some minor disclaimers. If you're going to be financing at 72, they could take away that $1,500. Also, if you've got a Ford, there's $2,000 in Ford Conquest cash. Or if you're currently in a Stellantis lease now, you could get an additional $2,000 off, bringing that $571 closer to $500 a month. Next up is the Jeep Gladiator. The Jeep Gladiator is again, primarily 2024s, and there's about 10,000 total. So on a sport 4x4 with an MSRP of about $49,505, it should land you about $559 a month. However, I know that a lot of people are getting this a lot lower because dealers are leasing them out through third parties. So definitely ask your dealer for something in the 400s. I wouldn't just go with Chrysler Capital or Stellantis for sure. They are doing 2.9% at 72. And also from Jeep right now, they are doing 15% off of, say, like Sports and Sport S's, and 20% off of Rubicons and the Mojave. And that's just something you can choose to get. Just you walk in and you say, hey, I want the 20% off offer, and there's no negotiation to be done on those. So you just literally walk in and say, hey, give me that. All right. So next up is the Sierra 1500 with about 39,000 units. Say a $49,840 Sierra 1500 we got at 7% off. That should land us at around $611.88 a month. No promotional APR. Actually, I should say there is a quote-unquote promotional APR, but it's at like 9% APR at 60 months. There is a $1,750 bonus cash incentive, as well as $2,250 in loyalty. If you've got a competitive vehicle in the household, you also do get $1,500. Next is the GMC Canyon, again, with primarily 2024 inventory, 6,900 units currently available. So a $42,000 Canyon would land us at around $490 a month. Next up is the Chevy Colorado. Now, with about 15,000 units currently available, and you're going to see a large chunk are Z71 4x4s, a price tag of $45,190 would land you at about $530 a month. It's a little bit steep because Chevy is not offering an incentivized lease program on it. The only thing that they're actually offering is $1,500 either in loyalty cash or conquest cash. Next up is the Hyundai Santa Cruz, 5,600 units and a $42,695 Santa Cruz would land you at $507 a month. Definitely one of the worst pickup deals I know that are currently on the market, and I don't know who's leasing this thing out right now. Last month it was doing a lot better. However, they do have a promotional APR at 2.99% at 60. Next up is the Ford Ranger. So there's about 13,000 units, and a $42,500 XLT 4x4 would actually lease out for about $453 a month. Right now, the only thing Ford's offering is 5.9% at 60 on these things. Next up is the Nissan Frontier. About 12,000 units, primarily 2025s. They actually performed pretty decently last month, selling quite a bit of their inventory. So on a $47,295 Pro 4X, that would get you at about $558 a month. The purchase program looks a little bit nicer. It's 3.99% at 60 plus a $1,500 rebate. Next up is the Ford Maverick, 17,670 units. So a $33,840 Maverick would land you at about $432 a month. No incentives, no promotional APRs, nothing like that. So next up is the Toyota Tundra with about 12,000 units currently. A $52,579 Tundra would land you at $487 a month. Right now, they still are doing 2.99 at 72 or a $2,000 rebate, as well as $1,000 in lease loyalty. Next is the Toyota Tacoma. Surprisingly enough, the majority of the inventory is on 2024. So they've still got a bunch of 2024s left. So a TRD off-road that you get, say, for $45,219 sticker price, you could get as low as $378 a month if you're able to pull off that 10 to 11% off discount, which I know is certainly possible. A lot of people are achieving some really crazy deals out there on these, especially, I mean, if there's this many 2024s left over and there's this much news about, I don't know, expected reliability and that affecting sales and whatnot, I think that a lot of dealers are cutting out some discounts in spite of that. Now, on the Ridge line, now Honda has about 8,200 units, say on an RTL all-wheel drive with an MSRP of 44,430. That would land you at 406.69, and that's being helped largely by the fact that there's like $4,000 in lease cash coming from Honda to subsidize this. They are doing 4.9% at 60, a little bit high because they were doing 2.9% at 60 last month. Now, I did want to answer some questions if there was any. Oh, wow. So somebody bought a 2025 Frontier on Saturday. Then the next day, the storm hit. This thing is a beast, loving every minute of it. I'm happy to hear that. That's actually really good news. And somebody else just below them got a 2025 Frontier also. I'm very curious now. I'd love to drive one and just see how they're performing. How do you like driving it? 10 units. So somebody, I called all 10 of the units I was looking at. Charlottesville, Virginia was the cheapest price of 44,500. So this target didn't work. So what was the final discount? What was your MSRP? Also, if there's any other questions you guys wanted to ask, I know I'll probably be on for another few minutes. And then I guess I'll just end this live. 47,715 MSRP. 44,976. So what was that exactly? So it's about 6%. No, it's about 5.8%. So about 6%. And I'm saying try to get about 7. I mean, I got to say, it's not 7% is not a guarantee everywhere, but I know that some people are getting above 7. So it's very, very much possible in Boston, but I agree, it might not be possible over there. I'm happy you're liking it regardless for the paper. I see. Okay. All right, you guys, any other questions? What about 2025 GMC Hummer? What is a reasonable price? You know what? Let's actually run this. I know a broker over here in Boston who's actually doing some really, really good deals on these Hummers. So let's just run it. So 2025 GMC Hummer. I'm actually going to show you how I do this using one of the tools that I have in my cheat sheet. All right, so I am actually going to head over to autocompanion.com, go over to 2025. I'll go to GMC. We'll go to the Hummer. Which one did you choose? Hummer EV X2. So it's 100,000. I would probably pursue around 7 to 10, but say you got about 7. I think 5 is probably the minimum I would take, but I would try to go as high as 10. Okay. Okay. All right, so they're doing. So this should lease out for $1,091. So if you got it at 24 months, the thing is though, I'm not seeing them relaying the $7,500 in lease cash because I think that what's going on is that they reduced, or sorry, the reason why they're not relaying the lease cash is because of a inflated residual. So it wouldn't really make too much sense to lease it and expect some big money off of the EV tax credit. For 2024. Oh, so it's in Colorado. All right. So if we got, let's say, Denver. Denver is what exactly? What zip code is it? 8,014. So we did 8, and we put in your zip. Yeah, it won't bring up. It won't bring it up for me. So hold on. If I added in 350 in incentives, it brings down the payment to 1040 for a month. All right, you guys, I am going to end this live stream. I'm very, very happy that all of you guys made it on. And obviously this video will be available for anybody after so that they could view it. All right, you guys, thank you very much for watching.